Action. Hello, my dear audiences, lovely ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends. Welcome back to the East-West Show, exclusively sponsored by Paul Battanelli, beautiful Italian men's suit. And Paul, thank you for sponsoring. And today we're talking about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is in the corner, is knocking on the door. We really have no time to miss if you really want to celebrate it. In celebrating Thanksgiving, there are different ways. The way I call upon is to get yourself a weekend to think twice, or if not three times, during the year, what have you forgotten, right? You will find it that you owe some appreciation to whatever, right, around you, even your dog. Yeah, I mean it. I mean it. So go ahead, do it. So with me, I have Linda Schumann, driver of the wonderful program called Meals on Wheels, focusing on giving help, giving aid to the homebound people who are either due to age or due to trauma, due to disability, due to whatever reason they're homebound, they need help. They bring Meals on Wheels to the door and say, boom, 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 here's your meal, something like that. And we have Kathy Young. Well, I joked with her a little bit. I said, well, you do look young. You don't have to say that. Say that to emphasize it with the last name. Who gave you the idea in the first place, right?
Right.
And we both laugh. But wonderful people, wonderful person. She's a driver and she's a trainer for drivers and for the whole processing for the Meals on Wheels program. And now we have a leader, the president of Meals on Wheels, and the three of you. Once again, I thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you. And together, let's be thankful to each other. Let's make our community a better world to live, right? So better home. Now, like I mentioned at the very end, though, you both are mother, and you are a father and a grandfather.
Yes.
How do you teach your kids to carry on the tradition of Thanksgiving, please? Who want to start? I want like that. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Joe.
I think for me, I try and teach my grandchildren as I taught my children the importance of being thankful for what we have as a family and where we live in this great country. And I always try to emphasize that to them to let them know that they need to think about it could be a lot worse anywhere in some other country. We would be maybe in poverty or struggling or whatever. I think I try to get that point across to my family and let them know how fortunate we are to live in this great country.
And thank you very much, Joe. That's very important. Every moment, every single day, you need to thank what you are for being what you are, right? Okay. Kathy, how do you teach your children? By the way, how many children do you have?
I have a daughter and a son, and I've got two granddaughters.
And you know what? I like the way she talks, right?
Yes.
I have a daughter. I said there's a comma. There's a
Right.
period there. Matter of fact, a
Yes.
comma. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Like you.
Well, I said that the way I said it. My son passed away when he was 16, which was 22 years ago.
Sure.
So I am thankful for what I have. I am thankful for my children, my grandchildren, and I have taught my granddaughters. In fact, every member of my family, my husband, my daughter, and my granddaughters, they have delivered Meals on Wheels with me.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
My granddaughters
yeah,
have been away
alright.
at college when they would come home for Christmas or Thanksgiving or during the summer.
It becomes a tradition of family.
Yes, it does. It's
Alright,
like,
good.
girls, I'm doing Meals on Wheels. Do you want to come with me? But then again, they do know that Grandma's going to buy them breakfast and lunch if they do
Yeah,
go with
okay,
us.
on the way back.
But they enjoy doing it. And throughout their college careers too, they have given back at school.
You're right.
And
You're right.
so, if I have my way of giving back and I've kind of interjected this into them giving back, and being thankful for what they have, because we do have a lot here. And some people out there don't have anything at all.
Yeah, you're
So
right,
if
you're
you
right.
can help out, if
You're
you
right,
can
you're right.
donate, you feel good about giving back.
Very good. That means that from the root, you started to let your kid, especially your grandkid, to know that they need to get involved.
Yes,
To actually
yes.
do something, to learn how to be thankful. Oh, also to feel about when you are reciprocated.
Yes.
When you reciprocated by the award of their smiles, a nice compliment, something
Yes,
like that. Very
yes.
good. And thank you, Kathy, for that. Linda, please, how do you do with your kid, please?
I did a lot when my boys, I have two, that that lost my train of thought. When they were young, I taught them, instead of going to preschool, I sold Avon for 6 years, and I brought them with me. And they sat on the couch, and they saw what I did. And it's another thing that you get paid for that, which is not much, but they realized that I was working, and they would sit there and listen. And if they played with the children that were there, they would make sure that the bedroom was clean before we left.
All right.
And I think that they learned a lot from just being around and knowing that, you know, we're helping people.
All right, all right.
And when we're at Thanksgiving, I think we probably all do this, where you go around the table and you say what you're thankful for.
Okay.
And yeah, see the nods. We all do it. But we get the young children. I have 3 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren.
Congratulations. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm a great-grandma.
You're a great grandma
I
already.
am.
Oh,
I have
see.
2 little girls. Yes.
All
yes.
right, okay.
So, you know, we're always helping, babysitting and holding the baby. She's only a couple months old now. And I just think we give all the time, excuse me, all the time, and we don't realize what we're doing to help. It's just a natural
Thank you very
thing.
much. Thank you very much. Those are vivid stories about families, right? Like I said in the very beginning, if you stretch the word family even larger, though, you'll find out your whole community is a family.
Yes.
Keep on stretching, your whole California is a family. And still keep on stretching, your whole country is a family. And you keep on stretching on till the point the whole world is a family. Right? So to me, I'm not saying good words about myself. I'm not flaunting that way. I do this. For example, sometimes I find myself need a paper clip. I pick up one, put it on. I don't take it for granted. There had to be somebody who created that.
Correct.
Am I right?
Correct.
Yes.
There had to be somebody who go find the iron core and dug it out, right? And make it into metal, and the metal has to be bent, and in order to make this paper pin, paper clip, right? So you got to be appreciative, to be thankful to each of those individuals, if not a group like that. If you are all taking the way I take, you take, and you take, my dear friend, I can guarantee this world it will be 100% better. Am I right?
You're right.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, my dear audience, today in celebration of Thanksgiving, we are doing a very special show. It's our traditional Thanksgiving show. I have invited, to my honor, to my pleasure, 3 wonderful friends. I have Mr. Joe Gardner, president of Meals on Wheels, a non-profit organization bringing food to needy people who are homebound. I have Nancy, Nancy. I have Nancy Young, Kathy Young. She is the driver slash trainer of such program to make sure drivers safely bring the food to the door, door by door, like that. Thank you very much. And to Linda, and she's a driver. She is newly trained, has completed her first trip already. And to each of them, I thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jack.
And for the community, I mean, on behalf of the community, which is also grateful for you, because with you, the community gets better, right? So, as to mark the day of Thanksgiving, I want to remind you, Thanksgiving is not a day. Thanksgiving is a wake-up call for you, number one, to think back about what you have missed, and for you to think forward about what you want to do till next Thanksgiving. Am I right? Okay, to my audiences, thank you very much for watching, and I love you, and happy Thanksgiving to you. And to each of you,
Bye.
thank you very much. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
I love each of you.
Thank you,
Thank
Jack. I
you.
love
Thank
you
you.
too.
All right, good. Action. Hello, my dear folks, my dear community members, fellow community members. We're in West Covina. We're talking about West Covina. We're talking about surroundings. There are all kinds of people. There are billionaires, zillionaires, all kinds of rich people, and there are people who are out on the street. Okay. In between, there are people who are homebound, who cannot cook themselves, either by disability, or by aging, or by whatever, whichever that happens to their lives. But they are people, they are our own brothers and sisters. At a moment of Thanksgiving, we want you to forget politics, to forget who fights against who, which country needs to be invaded. Right? If we are not too busy, we probably think about a country to be invaded, right? I call upon you, my dear audience, to forget the whole thing. Just focus yourself on do your body checkup. Like you do physical checkup, right? You do it at least once a year. I do twice a year, every 6 months, right? And I do call upon you to do a checkup about yourself here and here. Am I right?
Yes.
So
Right.
I call it a checkup. By checking up, you find yourself a chance or some chances that you can be a better man or better woman, a better father, better daughter, better wife, better whoever, or something like that. And with me today, we have my friend Joe Gardner. He's the president of the wonderful non-profit organization Meals on Wheels. And we have Kathy Young. She is the driver and trainer of the great, wonderful program for 7 years already. And we have Linda Truman. She is a driver, trained, ready to go. And she, matter of fact, did her first route successfully and, well, smoothly. And to those people, due to the fact we have those people in our community sustains. Otherwise, we won't, because we have elders, right? But now, at the end of the last segment, I did mention something. You're talking about cars involved, right?
Yes.
You're talking about gasoline to be consumed. You're talking about insurance, tires to be replaced, right? And you might have a nail or something. You might have a low flat, right? Something like that. And you have food involved. How do you manage all those things? Everything calls for money. At least, I mean, you're talking about here in a society full of money.
I think each of us make that sacrifice willingly. I mean, it's
Yes.
not a
Oh,
question
yes.
to us. You know, I think we understand the concept of why we're doing it to help someone else, and so I know for each of us, we don't think about those issues. It's just getting the meal to the recipient and making sure that you know. Oftentimes, we're the only contact that person might have.
Right.
You know,
But there are
each
two
day.
parts to prove that. And I really adore the term to sacrifice. Sacrificial is the key, right? Without that, you will not even get involved, right? Okay, now, by sacrifice, you're talking about your time, efforts, and your own gasoline, your own car, right? Your own tires, right? And insurance, of course. Okay, now, assuming that you are so willing to sacrifice all of these, yet at the end of the day, you're talking about food, right? Still, you have the food to, well, right? Who put up the food or the money for food, Linda?
I know we go to the hospital, Queen of the Valley, and we pick up the food. Yeah.
All right.
I'm just,
Good.
I don't know
Okay.
who pays that.
Yeah.
I am not
All right.
aware
Good,
of
good,
that.
good, good. Like apples on our tree, right?
Right.
But who planted the tree?
Yes, yes.
Who take care of the trees? Like I'll keep digging. All right. So where does the hospital Queen of the Valley get their food?
I'm not sure where they get it. It's prepared, the hot meals are prepared there at the hospital, so are the sack lunches. The donations for Meals on Wheels come from community members and
Wonderful.
politicians and friends of Meals on Wheels. They are the ones, they donate the money. We donate our time. And I am thankful that I have a car. I have car insurance. I can afford all these things to where I'm able to go out and deliver the meals to the people who are not able to get out.
Very good. Very good.
Taking, and I love to give, I love to donate my time, and I like to see the smiles on the recipients' faces.
Oh.
Because it does make me feel good
They're rewarding.
that, right, that I'm able to put a smile on their face. And like Linda said, they know when the meals are going to be there. They do expect you at a particular time. If you come early, they're even happier. They really are. But I know that they are thankful for what they are getting.
All right. Okay.
And I'm happy to give to them.
You are right. You're right. And she's talking about the awarding part, right? So we're only human.
Yes.
We need to be awarded, and you take the smiles as your
Yes, I
Yes.
do.
your medal.
Yes.
Okay. Linda, how do you take the thing about the fact that when people you are helping with, any comment, any appreciation, or even smiles that you see, how that he touch you?
Yes, they are wonderful. Some of them you'll never see. You'll just ring the doorbell and you say who you are, and you wait, seconds. And if they don't come, you turn around and you go. But I have a very small route, and I have the pleasure to talk to these people. And I have one lady that comes out and wants to know what I'm wearing all the time. Yeah, she says, "Oh, that's darling," or "You're dressing so cute." And then we start talking about her and how she is and what she had done in a week. And it's lovely. It really is.
It is. Especially, Joe, to the homebound people, they really need people to talk to.
Yes,
Because
they
they
do.
are kind of a lonesome, right? They need somebody. At least they need a pair of ears to listen
Yes.
to.
They do.
Am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Back to these resources of a donation of food, though. Do you find yourself enough, or do you find you still need more?
I think we've been very blessed in our program. As Kathy mentioned, you know, Supervisor Don Kanabe has been always willing to contribute some of his funding
the
to
5th district,
right,
right? Was,
and he's been very nice to us and helps us offset some of the cost and things to run. I mean, their employee issue is always one you have to make sure we have that employee paid. And you know, we have a lot of nice sponsors throughout the community who will come to our annual fundraiser and contribute. So it provides us an ability to get those low-cost meals to those recipients.
Let me ask you a question. Probably that's a hard one. Do you find fundraising for your campaign easier than this, or vice versa?
I find that people really support Meals on Wheels.
Yes.
All right.
You know, they know and understand the concept of the program, and you know, we have a lot of people who will see that and be very willing to support us. We've had people donating to our program for many years, and it's because they like the program.
Okay.
They like
Of
the
course,
people
I'm
in the program.
happy if you find your donation for your campaign easier, but I'm happier that, you know, this program is more understood, right? All right, good. My dear audience, today I'm really having a good time. Not only to talk about Meals on Wheels, we stretch the subject to cover a whole concept of Thanksgiving, at which moment we think you might have a busy schedule of a whole year, and here's your last chance to be reminded, hey, wake up, guy, right? Wake up, lady, whoever. You owe somebody a appreciation, a thanks, right? So that is the essential value, the significance of celebrating Thanksgiving. Joining me, we have Linda Chuman, we have Kathy Young, we have Joe Gardner. They are wonderful individuals. The community owe appreciation of, right? See, it's a mutual appreciation thing,
Yes.
right? So let's take a short moment out. When we come back, we'll take another perspective. Your mother, and your father and a grandfather already. I know that, right? How do you teach your children or grandchildren, right, on the way celebrating Thanksgiving? Or how do we emphasize Thanksgivingness of Thanksgiving, right? So stay with us, please. We'll be right back. Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to the East-West Show, exclusively sponsored by Paul Bottanelli, an internationally renowned brand name for men's suits, such as the jacket I'm wearing. Thank you, Paul, for sponsoring. Back to the show. Every year, of course, I made my own rules. I want to make my 24/7, my 365 moments of thanking people, of thanking everything around me, called appreciation. Right? Yet, at the time of Thanksgiving, especially when we are approaching Thanksgiving, it is always a reminder to me, Jack, let's do something to wake people up, to do the thing that you want to do the thing that you promote all year long. Both the past years, every year we did the same thing. And today, for this year, and only in little different style. And for the past years, we have employees. sitting here talking about Thanksgiving. And now I have my best friend, Mr. Joe Gardner, president of the great program, Meals on Wheels. And by the way, that's a program 32 years ago when I first came to this land. My neighbor was involved. I was caught up right away, right that very minute, by the beautiful name. And then today I end up with a friend, Mr. Joe Gardner, as a president of the Valley of San Gabriel Valley, of the West Covina Valley, doing that great project. And with him is my other friend. Her name is Kathy, and your last name?
Young.
Oh, Kathy Young. Yeah, I'm joking her. When she said I'm Kathy Young, I said you don't look old by any chance. So Kathy Young, and she is the driver and the driver trainer of the Meals on Wheels. And next to her is another beautiful friend of mine, Linda Truman. Linda Truman is a driver. When we say driver, we're not talking about anybody. Anybody could be a driver. In California, in Los Angeles, in Southern California, anybody could be a driver. But this is a driver specifically donated or devoted to the driving for the food, for the Meals on Wheels. And for that, I would pack my welcome with appreciations to each, every one of you. Please.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, you are not only warmly welcome to the show, to be guest on my show, you are, well, appreciated so much for what you have done, right? And now we owe our audience an introduction of everybody, herself, himself, right? So, shall we start with Linda, please?
I started this in January, and Kathy was my trainer. Mm-hmm. So that's how we know each other.
Uh-huh.
And she was lovely. She was just lovely.
No
Thank
question.
you.
No
Yeah.
doubt.
And I wanted another day of training just for the paperwork and stuff, and she came in and helped me on that one. So we did a couple weeks. And then they let me go. I got in my car and drove. I have enjoyed it so much. It is just so rewarding. They wait for you. They know that you're coming. And sometimes you sit and talk. It's a lovely job.
It is.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes, you feel
But
very good when you're through.
But unpaid.
Unpaid.
That's important, right?
Yes,
That's important.
yes.
Everybody has a job, but difference is that paid, not paid, right?
Right.
So for that, we're talking about nonprofit. We're talking about people donate their time and efforts and everything in the thing they believe that somebody need, something like that.
Yes.
All right. And how about you, Kathy?
I've been doing Meals on Wheels since 2009. And
That's what? That's 10 years, almost 10 years, 8 years. No, 7 years.
7
Yeah.
years,
Uh-huh.
yes. And I retired in 2007. I was still young enough to be able to drive.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And so I decided, well, I would do Meals on Wheels. Both my mother and mother-in-law, they received Meals on Wheels. So I figured this was, as long as I'm able to drive, and I have my faculties about me,
Good.
that I would go ahead and do this. And it is really rewarding, and I enjoy doing it. I'm out there giving back, and I enjoy doing that.
All right, Kathy, thank you very much. And you are not only a driver, you're a trainer.
Yes, I've
And,
trained a lot of the drivers.
Well, I probably could donate some time and efforts on myself being a driver. And
Yes.
After the show, you leave me your number, probably see if I can fill out a form or whatever.
Okay.
And I do call upon people to become actually a driver. If you do not have a time to become actually a driver or distributor, you at least give us a hand for that. Like that,
Well,
right?
I started out doing it as a substitute driver, and that's just what I'm doing. I substitute on
I
all
see,
the,
I
I
see,
do
I see,
all
I
the
see.
routes.
I see.
And if she needs a fill-in for a particular route on a particular day for a while, I go ahead and do that.
I mean, needless to say that you know all the routes,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And you are not sitting there as a trainer yourself.
I
You're
am
a substitute driver
Yep.
anytime called upon.
Yes.
Good for you. And to my dear friend Joe, and I would say if I had the right by Constitution to vote 10 times, I'll vote him for our assemblyman, which he was running not successfully. But I told him, Joe, keep it up. It's good work, right? So I believe next time he will do it, and I still want to get him involved. Joe, how did you start with that thing, and what was the motivation in the very beginning, though?
Well, I think it's some way where each of the drivers are exposed to Meals on Wheels in some fashion. As Kathy said, they were part of the program before her parents, and I had the same opportunity. I had, as a police sergeant, I had two of my employees, two of my police officers in Santa Monica actually volunteering during their shift time to go and make deliveries in the neighborhood.
That's good.
So that exposure, getting to see them, and then obviously allowing that time for them to go and deliver meals in the area where they patrolled was a nice thing to do, and they built up a lot of relationships. And I saw really something unique, remarkable, and now being part of Meals on Wheels, we don't, as you said, we don't get paid, but the greatest reward is the opportunity to see some smiles on faces and know that somebody counts on us every day to bring them food, and that's kind of the most basic needs that all of us have. And so, I find that very rewarding, as I'm sure many of our
But
drivers
who
do.
are those people needy?
They're usually the folks that can't prepare meals for themselves, the housebound people, the disabled people, seniors that have difficulty with mobility issues in their home. So what we do as a service to them is provide, bring those meals to them from Queen of the Valley Hospital. When their drivers go there, they pick up the meals, sort them out according to the route, and then they take it out to the person that is requesting the food.
All right,
Very simple.
A loving heart, needless to say, loving heart. To my dear audiences, I believe that you know me long enough to understand that I have a big heart too. At least if my heart not big enough, I still want my heart to be bigger by learning from these wonderful individuals. To me, my philosophy is this world, even though might have zillions of problems, the biggest problem in my eye is that people do not know how to be appreciative to things around us. I appreciate the fact that we have people like you yourself around me to sit here to voice out that in the community there are people need help, and there are people who can help, and there are people who are not aware about what's ever going on. Some stuff like that, right? So now, my dear audience, today as a special show for Thanksgiving, I would say you may not like all my shows I do for a whole year, no problem, but you gotta love this show. And I do it with the same pace of my heart. If what I say is not true, my heart might stop right away because they do the same pace, right? Okay. Now with my good friend, brother Joe Gardner, the former candidate for the District 48th as assemblyman, who is determined to run next time. I encourage him to do so. Now president of the many years, president of Meals on Wheels as a volunteer. And also we have Kathy Young with a K. Kathy Young is the driver and the trainer of the great program Meals on Wheels. And we have Linda Truman. Linda Truman is the driver, newly trained, ready to serve, and she is ready to be on her own route. Right? So we are packing this information with this background of each of those wonderful individuals to let our audience say these people, whatever they say about Thanksgiving, might have some credit. Which means that next segment, when we come back, we'll talk about how we, as individuals, celebrate our own Thanksgiving. How about that?
Great.
How about that, Linda?
Yes.
Sounds good.
You agree with me?
Yep.
All right, my audiences, we'll be right back, please. Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to the East West Show, exclusively sponsored by Paul Batanley, beautiful men's suit and jackets and golf series. And I happen to be, I happen involved. I'm so happy about it. And Paul, thank you very much for sponsoring the show on a year-long basis. That's lots of money involved. You gotta believe me. All right, thank you, Paul. Back to the show today. We are doing a special for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is so important to me. Thanksgiving stands the only nothing even close day to mark all the days. Mark all the days. Because if it comes to your birthday, it might be a day to celebrate your birth. If it comes to your anniversary, it might be a day to celebrate your wedding or something, marriage and stuff, so on and so forth. And so does Christmas. Now, Thanksgiving is not. Okay, to you, and to you, if you want to give, let me start with Linda. All right, are you looking at me, Linda?
I'm
Very
watching.
good. All right, very good, very good, very good. So, first, I want to ask Linda, what's your definition of Thanksgiving?
I think it's being you appreciate your family and friends who may be alone, and you want to include them into your family. And I had it at my house a long time since I was married, and I wanted to give it off to my son and his family, and they didn't want it. They're the young family that are busy.
They're
And,
busy.
so-
watching footballs.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And so I took it back. So they each bring something that we share, something that they want to bring, not that I call and say, bring this, bring that. So we just kind of leave it open, and we end up with a wonderful dinner.
Okay, very
Yes.
good. So to Linda, Thanksgiving is a day of appreciation, of sharing, right? To you, Kathy, what's your definition of Thanksgiving? Be prepared yourself. Yeah, please.
To me, it's getting together with family. A lot of families, they don't have anyone they can get together with, and if you can include them, and delivering Meals on Wheels on Thanksgiving, it's giving them that extra little thank you, and we appreciate you, and we know you do exist.
Yeah, you're right.
And I love getting together with family, because in my family there's not much of us left.
All right.
And so if we can get together and just enjoy the day and enjoy each other's company.
After
That's
all, at the
what
end
I'm
of the day,
thankful
if
for.
you stretch the concept, the definition of family, though, the whole community is a family.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
You're carrying, you as a member of community, caring about your own family, something like that.
Yes.
Right? Okay, to my dear friend Joe, what's your definition about Thanksgiving, please?
Well, very much the same as Linda and Kathy. I really enjoy the time with family. You get to have the grandkids over, and we have a large meal, and we invite our extended family to come to the house and have a good time. And you know, and truly for me, I have a lot to be grateful for. You know, to be on this earth all this time, and then as Kathy says, it's an opportunity to give back to the community. As Kathy says, we deliver on holidays. You know, the need is always there, so Meals on Wheels is out there doing that work every day.
Very good. That's a lovely definition. And well, I have always a question, because due to my education background, I'm more interested to words, right? I have major in literature, something like that. Okay. Why Thanksgiving is called Thanksgiving, not Thanksgiving? Anybody can answer my question, please? Maybe this question is so stupid that it's beyond answering. Or anybody can give me an answer of you?
I think it's just giving back. You know, the concept of giving and sharing and you know, being with others and really kind of expressing that you know,
all right,
we can share a meal together. I think that's a concept that I think
sounds like a return. Return. And to Kathy, why is a Thanksgiving not Thanksgiving or thanks obtaining or whatever?
You're giving of yourself, and you're giving of yourself to others, and letting them know they're appreciated. And there is love out there for them. And that's, I love giving.
Very good.
I really feel strange when somebody gives something to me, but I just have this outpouring. If I can help someone, I'm going to help them.
All right.
And yeah, I get a little bit of joy out of being able to help.
I love people with a beautiful mind, especially beautiful people with a beautiful mind.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Kathy. And to you, Linda, why? Oh, don't get scared. I'm sorry.
No.
When I was a student, I couldn't behave myself like that. Every time I was called upon, was I? Okay, now, to you, Linda,
Yes.
why Thanksgiving? Is it Thanksgiving, not Thanksgiving, thanks obtaining, thanks acquisition or something? Okay, why?
It is giving, makes you feel so good. You always try to do that in everything that you do daily. And you can go home and feel very good about what you've accomplished. And I am going to work Thanksgiving for Meals on Wheels. There are a few that need their food.
I see. That means double.
Yes, yes. So that made me feel good to do
The
that.
food itself and the
Yes.
message,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, very good, very good. And those are wonderful definitions, right? And of course, me, as one of the group, I have my definitions. I would lay down my definition by asking a question. If everybody under heaven thinks Thanksgiving is that giving rather than getting, would this world be full of thanks rather than hate, rather than request? Am I right?
Yes.
Right. And on the other, if you do it the opposite way, if everybody gets Thanksgiving, who give? If everybody gets, who will be the giver? Right? There will be no giver at all. So first, you want to positively fill the world with a giver, and of course, when you give, there's an object, right, as the taker. So you want to play as a giver rather than taker, and then yourself next day you are the taker, and then it is a mixed pot. Am I right?
Right.
So next time you are putting a lecture about Thanksgiving, though, you're free to pull that quote.
All right.
And there is a joke I would like to share with you. Somebody falls in a pond and dying, drowning. There came a guy trying to rescue him. The guy says, "Give me your hand. Give me your hand." The guy wouldn't do anything. At the moment he's sinking, sinking, and sinking, this guy, the rescuer, changed his mind. He said, "Take my hand. Take my hand." And the guy took the hand. So, different mind. The word take, the word give, right? Right. Get my hand, take my hand, or give me your hand, give me his hand. Different mind, different concept might have different connotations, which will end up kill themselves. That's how important giving is.
Wow.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So I believe I got a chance to sell my philosophy. finally, after this many years though. How big is the group? I mean, your group of Meals on Wheels.
Well, right now we have 34 drivers. Actually added a couple more recently. Kathy's been training, and so we have probably an organization, including our board members, of probably about 40 people that are involved.
Wow.
And some of us serve in different roles. We have one employee, which is Naomi, who handles the administrative part of
I met with her last time.
No, yeah,
She was
you
on
may-
my show, right?
Yeah,
Was she?
I
Yeah,
think so,
she was
yeah.
on my show. Yeah.
But you have, you have most all of us in the organization, except for one, are all volunteers.
All right, very good, very good. All right, my dear audiences, today I feel excited every time when we are approaching Thanksgiving, I keep myself reminded that is there anything you want to say to people, right? I will say that I owe them appreciation. Anything. If even people hate me, I will say thank you for hating me. That will make me a better man because I keep checking myself, right? Am I doing anything wrong? Oh yeah, there was something I did wrong, and I knocked the door, picked up the phone, I apologize, and then does that make me a better man? All right, so that's why I even thank people who hate me. All right, good. So with Linda, with Kathy, with Joe, we're having a wonderful time. They are great people. I would say they are the true heroes of our community who, at the grassroots level, and does the day-by-day job, bit by bit, build the building, huge building of our community. Thank you, everybody. We'll take a short moment now. When we come back, we're talking about there's gas involved, there's car involved, there's insurance involved, there's food involved. Right? So you're talking about, in the world of economy, you're talking about economy. In the world of money, you're talking about money. Where does the money come from? All right, so stay with us.